up, guys? My name is Sebastian, and I'm driving from Alaska all the way down to Utah in November. I get to experience a full Alcan highway here in the winter, and it is gnarly. But my journey, it doesn't start here. It actually started here in Anchorage, the beginning of my 3,000 mile journey south. First, I needed to meet up with this guy. He owns this cool synchro. This guy here, he brought me some parts, and I'm gonna go and try and replace them today. Unless it gets too cold, who knows. But thank you again.
No problem. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, he's a lifesaver. All right, there he goes. I'm gonna head back into town and get this shock thing sorted out. Okay, so I'm at Home Depot now, and I've been needing to change out this shock for a couple weeks, and I finally got it off. Here is Fox shock from the front driver's side, and I just got it off, and this has been my issue for about 2 months now. Extender goes on top, so the shock doesn't top out every time you hit a bump. It just stripped, you know. All the washboard roads didn't do me any good, so I ordered a couple of these from T3 Technique, and they've already got the extender mounted onto the shock itself, and they are fully adjustable. So I'm going to throw these on and see how they perform on my journey south. All right, now that I can't feel my fingers, got it in there. All right, guys, I finished all my errands in Anchorage, and this is mile 1 of my 3,000 mile journey south towards Utah. Luckily, the weather today is beautiful. Skies, about 5 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's only going to get colder. And I'm just looking forward to what the road has in store for me this time. Next morning, I drove until late last night, and still only got about 200 miles in. So I'm gonna make some coffee and we're gonna hit the road. Get this thing warmed up. See how far we make it today. Cycling the glow plugs twice, and then it fires right up. It says it's 1 degree, that's what the coolant temperature is. Hopefully it starts. Yeah, it's cold. attempt was successful. She does not sound happy. Alright, looks like she's warming up enough. Might be able to hit the road now. Into the town of Glen Allen now. I'm gonna get some fuel here before pushing towards Tok. And it is cold. It is minus 15 here, and the cab up here is struggling to stay warm, so I am absolutely freezing. I'm gonna maybe put a couple more layers on before the next push. We just managed to top off on fuel here in Glen Allen. It is 15 below zero. A lot colder than I thought it would get today, but we're headed towards Tok now, and it's not supposed to get above zero there all day. And unknowingly on the drive here, my diesel heater flamed out. That's why I was getting so cold up here. And the heater for the van, the heater core is just not warming up while I'm driving. So, alright, just pulled over here, made me some coffee, got some brunch going, just oatmeal and a bunch of raspberries. But the front of the van is so cold. I'm gonna go ahead and block off the radiator and try and get some warm air coming through the dash. That heater core is just not warming up at all, and the air from the diesel heater back here just isn't making its way up there. Actually, my bottle of water is in the passenger seat. It's icy, so if that doesn't tell you how cold it is up there, then I don't know what will. Also, my sink under this, I filled up the water tank yesterday, hoping that the diesel heater will keep it warm enough inside here that I won't have any issues with the water freezing, but turns out it's freezing, and the water pump inside of the tank turns on, but it's not pumping any water. So that's an issue for later on. Alright, hopefully that does what I needed to do. Well, that was pretty cool. That's the snow plow clearing the road for me. There's no other cars out here.
Proceed to the route.
just fueled up, topped off the main tank and the diesel tank, the diesel heater tank, and also filled up the 5-gallon jug up top. We are now on the Alaska highway, the Alcan. Alright guys, made it to the border. Goodbye Alaska. It's been good. It's been real. Until next time, can't wait to come back. Maybe when it's colder. Haha, Canada, here we come. Yukon, larger than life. All right, we gotta go to the customs office and hopefully they let me in this time. Or, not this time, but hopefully they let me in. And we'll find somewhere to camp out for tonight. And it's gonna be a cold one. Guys, I can't feel my hands. All right. Just made it past the customs, and now we are officially in Canada. Okay, I don't know if you can see that, but $50 for 21 liters. I was at 3/4 of a tank. Figured I'd stop here in Beaver Creek and get some more fuel. Even though I can make it to Haynes Junction without fueling up, but it's a lot of money for not a lot of fuel. It'll be an expensive week. Yeah, so I just reset my trip and it was 100 miles for $50. Okay, just turned around because I saw like another road or a pull off, or I'm not sure. Let's go check it out. See if it's somewhere we could stay for the night. It kind of looks promising. There's tire tracks going back here, so hopefully I'm allowed back here. I don't know. Hopefully there's not a house at the end of this. Okay, this spot actually looks pretty cool. Walked around a little bit. It's just like a gravel pit, but it's covered in snow, probably about 6 inches. And it's pretty dark out there, or else I would show you tonight, and I think we'll probably end up leaving before the sun comes up in the morning, so the views don't really matter. But it's about a 1/4 mile from the Alcan, which is a little concerning because it's supposed to drop well below 0 tonight, and I just hope this thing starts up in the morning. That's my only concern, but I know I can, worst case, just walk to the main road if I really need help and wait for a car to pass by. But it should start up. I hope it starts up. We'll see. Maybe I'll start it right before I go to bed and just see how it does cold soaked, and I don't know. I don't really have a backup plan for if it doesn't start. I did put one of these in. One of these things, Octane, so winterizer anti-gel, because that's what I suspect my problem was this morning, is that the fuel and the fuel filter and the fuel lines were probably gelled up pretty good, but I don't know much about that, so I don't know. I do know that this, you're supposed to only put not much in, but I couldn't feel my hands when I was putting it in. But yeah, it treats up to 100 gallons, one of these. So yeah, I was only supposed to put maybe a quarter quart of it in, but I couldn't, like I said, I couldn't feel my hands, so I just kind of felt it, and it's really, I put the whole thing in. So that was like a tank of fuel to go, so it should be fine. Still runs. It's not gonna gel, I know that much. Pretty good. It's Monday morning now. It's about negative 20 degrees. Being able to camp out in conditions like this is humbling. It's crazy to think that last winter I was held up in my garage rebuilding that motor, and for it to be able to withstand extreme temperatures in conditions like this feels really good. So the first thing I did when I woke up this morning is start the van and let it warm up. And just because I wanted to know whether it would start or not, to see how much my day would suck. Unfortunately out here, there's just no room for error with temperatures well below zero. Now today I'm going to be making my way towards Haynes Junction to fill up with some fuel. It's about 150 miles east of here, and then after that, I think we'll make it into Whitehorse today, where I could take a much needed shower, which I'm pretty excited about. It's a lot colder. It's minus 20 degrees, maybe even colder than that out here in the Yukon. It amazes me that with my cheap Chinese diesel heater running constantly in the van, I can keep it at temperatures around 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Of course, while I'm parked here, but while I'm driving, there's just too much cold air coming through the vents to keep it at 60 degrees. And the amount of drafts in this old Volkswagen is pretty crazy, and you don't really notice them until you're in conditions like this. Cold. About minus 17 degrees. The sun takes about 3 hours to rise, and yesterday I noticed it took about 3 hours to set as well, which doesn't give us much daylight to see all the things to see. But that's okay, because that just means that there's less distractions and more time for driving. There's no reason to be hanging around the Yukon territory when it's this cold out, especially in a vehicle that is known to be unreliable. Rolling into Haines Junction now. I'm not gonna get fuel here. I'm gonna push on to White Horse. So here's the junction. If you go right, you go to Haines, Alaska, and then you go left, you go to White Horse. So we're going left. It's only about another 100 miles to White Horse, so should be fine on fuel. We got half a tank, which is good for about 150 miles. So, pushing on to White Horse. Oh man, I pulled over for a minute to grab a snack out of the back, and now it's snowing. I always saw pictures of this place on the internet. I always thought it was a weird concept, but it's pretty cool. Just a bunch of signs. Keeps going back, all the way back there. I guess you could bring your license plate and put it up for everyone to see. I'm the only car in the parking lot. It's warming up though, so that's good. I'm leaving Watson Lake now. Just fueled up, and we're headed to Liard Hot Springs. When I drove up to Alaska, I didn't take this the full Alaska highway. I took the Cassiar Highway, which is further west. So seeing all these things like the signpost forest in Watson Lake, and then the hot springs up ahead, it's all new to me. So it's pretty cool to be able to experience that and take different routes. However, taking this route this time of year is definitely not something I recommend. Bound to happen sooner or later. Truck just passed and I got a couple new rock chips in the windshield, which is fine because it's already cracked right there. But got two more right here. So glad I didn't replace the windshield before this trip. Gotta watch out for the bison on the road. We just crossed over to British Columbia, and this section of the road is apparently really well known for the bison just being on the road. So being vigilant and trying not to hit any bison. There's a lot of gravel and sand on the road now, so it's a lot more manageable. A lot less slick. It's still slick, but manageable. There's a fuel station there, and the sign said that there's not another fuel stop for about another 90 miles or so. But we're doing good. We've topped off in Watson Lake, so we're gonna push on and not hit any bison. Okay, what do I do in a situation like this? Just trying to push them. See what happens. My horn isn't very convincing. Thank you. Oh, no, you're going that way. Come on. Roadblock has been unblocked. It's pretty wild. Alright, it's about 5 p.m. now and the sun is pretty much all the way down now. It's that blue hour and it looks like it's starting to snow a little bit now. We're still about an hour away from the hot springs and probably just pull over and camp out there. That'll put me at about 400 miles for the day, which is pretty good for the old Volkswagen, and probably do another long push like that tomorrow. I say long push, I know 400 miles isn't too long, but for an old van it's about all she wants to do. It's a handful, so we'll shoot for about 400 or 500 miles. We'll see how the day goes and what the weather looks like. But yeah, starting to snow a little bit now. It's a little bit warmer today, about 5 to 10 degrees Fahrenheit. Having this light bar is a game changer. It really helps when the sun goes down at 5 p.m. and doesn't rise until 10 in the morning. The days are getting shorter now that winter is in full effect. All right, I just saw a sign for the Layard Hot Springs coming up here. So pretty late. I don't know if they're open or closed or how that works, but we'll find out here in a minute. This place is really cool. I'm the only one here. It's like 8 o'clock, but they have changing rooms. And yeah, check this place out. You're rolling through. Look at the Liard Hot Springs, and you won't regret it. It's kind of a walk out here, but definitely worth it. I think it said like 700 meters, so it's not too far. It's like a boardwalk. And you come, here's the changing rooms, and you just go down straight to the hot springs. I will say, getting out sucks because it's still about 5 degrees outside, and can't feel my fingers, but it's nice and toasty warm in there. After visiting the hot springs last night, I was able to find a quiet pullout on the side of the road, not too far from the hot springs. So I spent the night here, and I just woke up and packed everything away, and we're gonna head on down the road. Just fueled up in Toad River, now we're back on the road. It's like a couple elk on the road. A lot. Alright guys, I've been driving all day from where we camped out in Liard Hot Springs, and we've done about 460 miles, and we are now finally approaching Dawson Creek, which marks mile 1 of the Alaska Highway. Made it. This marks mile 0 of the Alaska Highway. 1,500 miles from Anchorage, and it's late November, so we did it. That's not the end of our journey though. We still have 1,500 miles to go to Salt Lake City, Utah. So this is the halfway point of our trek south. But I'm gonna end this video here, guys, and hope you enjoyed my struggles driving the Alcan in the winter. I can't wait to do it again, maybe next winter, we'll see. But for now, I'll see you guys next time.